I have to confess something to you. I have a guilty pleasure. I travel a fair amount, and anytime I'm flying out, I leave early in the morning from my house, and about 2 miles from my house, I drive by McDonald's. And I'm a pretty healthy guy, so I try not to eat a lot of fast food. But when I'm leaving early in the morning, and I'm going to be on a plane for a long day, I go through the drive-thru, and I get a McGriddle. Have you had a McGriddle? Sometimes I'll get 2 McGriddles. Oh my gosh, it's like 3,000 calories of heaven. It's amazing. It's amazing. Now, I can't do it every day, but I love it. As a property manager, I've learned a lot about business from the way McDonald's does business. I think, well, McDonald's making hamburgers, what do we do? From a process standpoint, that's the key to McDonald's success. Is it the quality of their food? Maybe. McGriddles, yes. But on most of their stuff, the reason they can replicate themselves over and over is because they do it so well with just that. They make it simple and they make it easy. Simple and easy. Now that's a big, big deal. How simple, how easy is your business? See, we're in a complicated business, property management. Your job is to simplify it as much as possible for your owners, for your tenants, for your employees. That's a good way of measuring yourself. How simplified is it? And secondly, how consistent is it? Are you doing it the same way every time? Think of McDonald's. Do they cook the same, the hamburgers get cooked the same way every time? You bet they do. Now, you may not like it, but that is the process. It's every way, every time. You're going to get the same consistency no matter which McDonald's you go to. When I travel, sometimes I'll be in a different state and I'll go to McDonald's and get a McGriddle there too. And you know what? It tastes exactly the same as the one I got right here in Denver, Colorado. How can it taste the same? Is it the same chef that happened to be working? No, because they followed a process to simplify it. It's about the documented processes, because the line cook in Chicago is following the same process that the line cook in Denver, Colorado is following. And it's a detailed process. See, if your process is not documented, it's not a process. You've got to make sure your process isn't just something you have told to your people, but it's written down, it's documented, and it's followed specifically every single time. Now, before I tell you number 3, let me quickly thank the sponsor for this video, Planet Synergy. Planet Synergy provides virtual assistant help specific for PM companies. One of the things I really love about Planet Synergy is it's a month-to-month contract. They believe if you're ever not happy with them, you shouldn't work with them. I love that. That speaks well to a company that's willing to put out a month-to-month contract. Their VAs have degrees. I mean, we're impressed. We use them. That's the biggest recommendation I can give, is we use them. So if you need a VA, jump over to our sponsor page, watch the information we provide, planetsynergy.com, tell them Mark sent you. It's time for you to start using VAs if you're not already. Number 3. See, each process is broken down into its smallest component. If I got hired at McDonald's and they're like, hey, go make hamburgers, I'd mess it up. I don't know, I'm not a good grill person, but you know what? I bet if I got hired by McDonald's, their process would be so well documented on a component process that even I could follow. Because it would say something like this: turn grill on to 483 degrees, not 482, not 484, 483. So I do that. That's step 1. Okay, got it. Number 2, open up kitchen shelf, and on the 3rd rack, pull out the hamburger patties. Oh, I can do that. Okay, open up 3rd rack, pull it out. After 5 minutes and 3 seconds, put grill on. Okay, turn that. After 1 minute and 30 seconds, flip. It's going to be detailed. How about you? How detailed are your processes? If somebody came walking in off the street and they don't know anything about real estate or property management, could they muddle their way through by following your detailed process? I hope so. If you haven't seen this movie, you need to see it. The Founder. It's based upon the true story, Ray Kroc. And there's a scene in this movie that makes the entire movie worth watching. If you're watching this video right now on YouTube, I'm going to put a link to the scene in this movie that you can watch on YouTube. And what happens is Ray Kroc, he just gets introduced to McDonald's. He's never heard of it before. And he goes to check out what's going on. There's this long line. He orders his food, and he meets the guys that run it, and they invite him back into the kitchen. And they're giving him a tour of the kitchen. And Ray Kroc's kind of a restaurateur, but he's never experienced this before. He's never seen this process and the system. And they show him, hey, here's how we get everything processed identically and quickly. It's fast, it's repetitious, it's simple, and he's blown away by looking at how the ketchup gets put on every hamburger in the same form or fashion. Did you know that when you eat a hamburger at McDonald's, do you ever notice how the pickles never fall off? If you bite into a hamburger, the pickles never fall. Why? Because they specifically put the pickles in a certain shape overlapping each other on the center of the hamburger. It's that level of detail. It's that level of detail you need to have in your PM business. And the fourth thing, and this is why it's so important, because anybody, even a guy like me, can follow an articulately documented process. It takes the pressure off your people. They don't have to figure it out. You figure it out for them. You simplify it, and all they have to do is follow the process. So if you got hired in our office today, I would, in my first day of training with you, this is a picture of the bookshelf on my office, and what you see right here, these are all of our position-specific system manuals, and that's important, position-specific. So if I hire you for a leasing person, I'm going to pull off our Director of Leasing system manual, and it's going to tell you how to lease. Just like if I got hired at McDonald's to be the line cook, they're going to have a specific process for me versus if I'm the cash register guy. If I'm the cash register guy, I don't need to know anything about turning the grill on. I need to study how to run the cash register. Just like in your business. If they're the accounting person, they don't need to know about leasing. So get away from this concept of having this massive policy and procedure manual that says how to do everything. No. Break it down into the smallest components and into each position in your company. That's why we've got, 10, 11. Why? Because they're position specific. I'll put a link on this video. You can download samples of every single one of these. You can see exactly how we have them structured. You need to be doing that. Download our samples if you like them. You can get the whole thing. But download our samples and start creating that for yourself. See, the more you can pattern yourself after McDonald's, the more you can do things with simplicity and consistency time after time after time, the easier it is for you to do business, the easier it is for your people to do business, and the more successful you'll be.